It was one of those nights where the rain feels heavy, like it's trying to wash away the very memory of the world. I was driving down that lonely stretch of road, past the towering, rusted gates of the old Playtime Company factory. It's a place that's been nothing but a graveyard of nightmares for decades, a hollow tomb of forgotten joy. I usually don't look toward the gates, but tonight, my headlights caught something out of place. A small, waterlogged cardboard box sitting in the mud. At first, I told myself it was just trash, just more debris from a dead era. But as I pulled over and the engine cut out, the silence of the storm took over. I walked toward it, my boots sinking into the muck. That's when I saw them. Eyes. Tiny, shivering eyes reflecting my flashlight. Inside, huddled together for warmth, were Red and Green Huggy, a little Kissy Missy, and a doll I had never seen in any catalog. Lily. They didn't look like the monsters the legends described. They looked like lost children, abandoned by a creator who no longer cared. In that moment, I knew. I couldn't leave them there to be reclaimed by the darkness of the factory. The atmosphere of my house shifted the very second I stepped through the door with that box. It felt like I was carrying a piece of another world. I spent the first hour just trying to stop their trembling. Watching them in the kitchen sink was surreal, to say the least. It was a sight no one would ever believe. Red and Green were sneezing into the soapy bubbles, their long arms tangling as they tried to play, while Kissy Missy clung to my hand with a grip so tight it felt like her entire life depended on that single connection. But Lily was the one who drew my gaze. While the others played, she was quiet, almost unnervingly still. I sat her by the fireplace, wrapped in my softest towel. As the orange light of the flames danced across her porcelain skin, I saw a spark in her eyes. It wasn't the reflection of the fire. It was something deeper, something ancient that felt older than the factory itself. A spark of pure, untapped magic that seemed to hum in the quiet air of the room. By the next morning, any hope of a quiet life was gone. I thought I had brought home toys, but I quickly realized I had adopted a living, breathing whirlwind of supernatural energy. The house was alive in a way it had never been. I'd walk into the kitchen to find Red diving headfirst into my cereal bowl, while Green used the crystal chandelier as a personal jungle gym, swinging with a speed that made my head spin. Kissy was the sweetheart of the group, always trying to help, even if her help usually resulted in sugar being spilled across every inch of the floor. But Lily remained the mystery. She didn't participate in the games. Instead, I'd find her standing on my desk, her tiny hand tracing the blueprints of the factory I'd left out. She would watch the evening news with an intensity that gave me chills, her head tilting as if she were decoding secrets hidden in the broadcast. They weren't just living here, enjoying the warmth. They were observing. They were learning. They were preparing for something they knew was coming. We all felt it. The realization that the world outside these four walls wasn't nearly as kind as my living room. We knew that if the factory came looking for its lost experiments, we couldn't just hide. We had to be ready to fight back. My basement workshop, once a place for fixing leaky faucets, slowly transformed into a secret training ground. I spent my evenings building them tiny gear, reinforced armor, and miniature tools. But I soon realized They didn't really need my inventions. Red and Green possessed a raw, primal strength that completely defied their small stature. Kissy moved with a grace and speed that was faster than a human heartbeat, a pink shadow that could be anywhere at once. And then there was Lily. She was the anchor. She was the key to everything. Under the flickering workshop lights, she practiced moving heavy objects with nothing but her mind. I watched as her purple aura grew brighter and more stable every single day. We weren't just a man and some rescued toys anymore. We were a squad. We were a family with a deadly secret. The silence of the suburbs is usually a comfort, but that night, the silence felt heavy, like it was pressing against the windows. The first sign was the lights. They didn't just flicker. They pulsed in a rhythmic, mechanical heartbeat that made the hair on my neck stand up. Then came the sound, a horrific, metallic grinding of rusted joints moving through the yard. Something massive was out there, lurking in the shadows of the trees. I looked through the glass, and my heart stopped. It was the prototype's hunter, a rusted, mechanical nightmare standing on jagged spider legs, its single red eye scanning the house with cold, calculated precision. It wasn't here to talk. It didn't want a deal. It was a scavenger sent to bring the property back to the shadows of Playtime Co. When the living room window finally shattered into 1,000 jagged shards, I truly thought my life had reached its end. I reached for the toys to hide them, but they didn't move. My little rascals didn't blink. They stood their ground, waiting for the signal. The hunter lunged with a terrifying speed, its rusted claw coming within inches of my face, the smell of old oil and death filling the air. That's when Lily let out a sound I'll never forget. It wasn't a scream of fear. It was a piercing command that shook the very foundations of the house. A massive wave of violet energy erupted from her, hitting Red and Green like a physical blow. The air in the room began to warp and hum with static. I watched in absolute awe as my tiny, adorable pets began to distort. Their bones groaned, their muscles swelled with unnatural power, and their soft fur matted into thick, heavy battle armor. Their shadows stretched across the walls, growing taller and wider until they hit the ceiling. In a matter of seconds, the transformation was complete. I wasn't being protected by toys anymore. I was standing in the presence of two massive, roaring titans of the Playtime Company, ready to tear the world apart to keep me safe. The battle that followed was a chaotic blur of fur, sparks, and screaming steel. Red and Green held the hunter back with sheer, raw power, their massive hands gripping the monster's rusted limbs as the floorboards cracked beneath their weight. But the hunter was a perfected killing machine. It was too fast, too calculated, jumping between walls to avoid their grasp. That's when Kissy Missy showed her true colors. She became a pink blur of lethal precision, sprinting up the walls and diving from the ceiling with her claws extended. She tore into the hunter's optical sensors, ripping away wires and creating openings for the brothers to strike. They fought with a level of loyalty and ferocity I had never seen in any living creature. It wasn't just a fight for survival. They were fighting for their home. They were fighting for the person who had pulled them out of the rain. They were fighting for me. The hunter was cornered, but it wasn't finished. It prepared its final strike, its chest cavity opening to reveal a core glowing with a lethal, pulsing red light. The energy was building. It was a move that would have leveled the house. It felt like the end. Or so the monster thought. Lily stepped forward, her small frame silhouetted against the red glare. She began to hover, her eyes turning into white suns of pure, blinding energy. Enough, she seemed to whisper, though no words left her lips. She unleashed a shockwave of gold and violet light that turned the dark night into brilliant day. The hunter didn't stand a chance. Its metal frame simply disintegrated into gray ash under the sheer weight of her magic. When the light finally faded, the silence returned. But this time, it was a warm, cozy silence. My giants slowly shrank back into their tiny, exhausted forms, curling up on the rug, safe at last. Now, when people see me walking down the street, they see just an ordinary man living an ordinary life. They have no idea about the ancient guardian sitting on my shoulders. They don't know that under my roof, the factory's greatest nightmares have finally found a place to call home. Welcome home, Lily. We're ready for whatever the factory sends next.